Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. I thought I would catch you guys up on some of the things that I'm doing. As you can see from the title of the video, I will be talking about NaNoRenO. But before I talk about NaNoRenO, I thought I should let you guys know what's happening with the project that I'm currently working on, the bigger project, that is. So, here it is. It's just a very, very, very simple graph. I appreciated brainstorming with you guys in the last video, but this just seems really nice and achievable, and I kind of started feeling like, well, first of all, a 100,000 word odd visual novel is still a pretty nice chunk, and it's still a pretty good length. But also, I couldn't help but feel like maybe all of those other elements that I was talking about could go towards making other visual novels instead. Uh, like, I feel like I probably have ADHD or something, and of course, I wanted to write a whole bunch of different stuff. But realistically, not that being ADHD is like a bad thing necessarily, but all of that feeling of drive towards wanting to create, I can just channel, I think, into other future projects. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Besides, it's nice that this one is already almost like, as you can see, I've written a significant amount of it at this point. It's over half done. Of course, I will have to change the name of the project now that it has a focus on both Alia and Nola. But I will think about that and get to you guys later about what it was going to be named. Now, anyway, let us switch gears now to talking about NaNoRenO. So, if you guys don't know, NaNoRenO is a month-long visual novel jam that happens during the month of March every year. You can look it up. I actually attempted to do NaNoRenO at some point previously on my channel. However, even though I have participated in it once, I didn't actually finish the project that I was working on. But now I'm aiming to participate in it again. Realistically speaking, I feel like, as they say on the in the official rules for NaNoRenO, a game that you complete from start to finish in the month of March can be submitted, and that can be a demo for a bigger project that you might finish later. So I figure I can participate in this. It will help sharpen my prioritization and like scope skills. Like when I only have a month to finish something, I feel like that'll be like, okay, what are the essentials? You get down to you get down to saying what's essential and what isn't pretty fast. And I think that that's just generally a good skill to build when it comes to something like this, that is making visual novels, which requires quite a bit of decision making along these lines. I've had a idea for a visual novel in my head for quite a while now, um, about a plant girl who is like a flower, and a mushroom girl who is like an ink cap mushroom. And I was thinking of calling it something along the lines of ink and lavender, or tainted nectar, or something like that. But at any rate, I'm planning that that project will be of a relatively significant length, um, like let's say at least 100,000 words. But this is great because this gives me an opportunity to I can just make the common route and release it as part of the game jam and get some experience in. And it will help bring people, not necessarily to the channel, but it'll help people to know about me and my project and so on and so forth. And as you may or may not know, the game jam is happening on itch.io. Um, in that video I made quite a little while ago at this point, I had talked about using itch.io less, and I think that I brought up some valid points, but participating in jams and stuff, I just want to be less rigid in general. I'll probably start using itch.io more loosely. So here, I just thought I would give you guys a breakdown of the schedule that I'm thinking of doing in the month of March. So here it is. As you can see right away, or maybe I will break down for you that this is like each of these represents a day in the month. So usually when I schedule things, I assume that there are 20 work days in a month during which I can work on stuff. Um, and a lot of the time I would schedule work for 5 days a week, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially since I know I'll be a little bit busy during the month of March, to instead schedule only for working 4 days in a week. So a weekend of 2 days plus an extra day because I'll be doing some other stuff. Besides, scheduling with 4 days in mind for a work week is going to really help this be achievable because I assume really that I'll be able to have some extra time, like Fridays and Saturdays, to do like tiny amounts of catch up or working ahead or whatever. But so let's go through this. So write 5,000 words, write 5,000 words. So the entire visual novel is planned on being 10,000 words. And for me, 5,000 words right now is a nice sweet spot where I think that realistically I can write that in a day. And I have noticed that I can write that in a day. That number didn't just come out of nowhere. Um, Make a character sprite for character A, make a character sprite for character B. So I'm pretty sure I can do that. It would take a little bit of effort, but as you can see here, there's another day dedicated to doing all of the facial expressions for the character sprites. So in total, I have 3 days to do the sprites, which I think is reasonable. Then, so I have two secret weapons here. The first is that I'm only planning on 4 day work weeks, so I have a lot of extra time. The second is that, as you can see here, this says do an event CG for character A, including the background only variants. So I realize that I have a limited amount of time, and what I mean is by background only variants is that an event CG is usually depicting one or more figures. And I might as well, since I'm just making a CG anyway, I might as well make a variant of that that just doesn't have the figures in it. And that way I could potentially use those as those backgrounds as different backgrounds, albeit not ones that could have character sprites presented on top of them. But I could still use those as backgrounds or whatever, which I think is an interesting, very simple way of like using the same sort of thing twice. And besides, I think it's sort of interesting for the readers to be like, oh, that's that place uh, that, for example, this girl was when you had that like moment together. And maybe, for example, the protagonist is looking for her and he checks that spot, but she's not there. And it feels like a little bit empty without her, or something like that. Or you introduce the background first, and the character gets familiar with it and likes it. And then later he like pulls the love interest, like as he and the love interest get closer together, then they kind of can share that together. And I think that's interesting, but it is also a time saving measure. So win-win, really. So doing 4 CGs, two for character A, two for character B. Then 2 days doing two backgrounds while doing whatever simple variants are needed. And what I mean is, by simple variants are literally just like, is it daytime? Is it nighttime? That sort of thing. Just variants that don't take a whole lot of effort to make. Not like, is it spring? Is it fall? Is it snowing? Not that sort of thing. Like, that takes quite a lot of effort. Literally just like time of day stuff. And then I have 2 days here dedicated to this, which is compose, edit, and export 4 songs, then work on the store page. So I think for a lot of people, this would seem really, really ambitious, but I know myself well enough to know that a lot of the music I make is simple piano music that's just expressive. It doesn't really take me that long. I a lot of the time will make like a few songs and then be like, well, I finished super early in the day. So, being as I would have all of the writing done and all of the artwork done at this point, then it makes sense for me to take the rest of the day to just work on the store page because I can write the synopsis knowing what the story is actually about, and I'll have all of the artwork that I can use for the store page. Of course, I would need to not upload screenshots because a screenshot requires that the visual novel not only have all of the assets, but also be complete and have the graphic user interface done and stuff. So the screenshots will be uploaded last, but I could still work on the store page. So 2 days dedicated to that, and then 2 days dedicated to the assembly and light editing of the visual novel. So assemble 5,000 words and lightly edit the text where needed. So that is literally just me going through the writing that I've already written, making some very light edits, and plugging in the art assets and music, that sort of thing. And then 1 day dedicated to lightly editing the graphic user interface. Uh, if you guys don't know, RenPy, every time you make a RenPy project, it has a default graphic user interface, and really the default graphic user interface is quite nice and does just fine on its own. Uh, so I just want to lightly edit it, and that will be fine. Then, of course, after lightly editing the graphic user interface, I can just upload the finished visual novels, and I guess in brackets, do the screenshots and upload those as well. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing. And it'll be nice to take a little break from this project to the bigger project that I'm working on with Alia and Nola. And I think it would be cool to participate a little bit in like a community kind of event. Because a lot of the time developing is quite solo, especially if you're me. So this is a little bit of socialization. I get to check out other people's projects. Other people get to check out my projects. Helps grow a little bit of an audience, and I think it'd just be a good idea. And this will end up being the demo for another game that I'm going to be working on. Probably going to be called Mist and or oops, probably going to be called something along the lines of Ink and Lavender. Um, so yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see you later. Happy NaNoRenO, you guys. It starts on the 1st of March, and I'm uploading this midnight on the 28th of February. So, if you guys are going to start, go ahead. Go start. Okay, take care, you guys. Oh, by the way, if you listen to this on the 28th of February, don't actually make anything concrete yet. You need to make everything in the month of March itself. Please check the official Game Jam for the official rules. I'll leave a link in the description. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time.